Come get some.
They say all work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy. But there are a lucky few who get to play at work and make it pay. In fact, Apple Computer was put on the map by a couple of young men employing just such a strategy. Now a similar story may be unfolding near Dallas. Byron Harris reports.
At the beginning of 1992, we had just come back from Christmas vacation, and we started working on Commander Keen 7. We spent 6 months last year, in 1991, we spent 6 months making 3 Commander Keen games, and now we're gonna, spend another year or something? I was like, I can't do it. I'm just sick of making Keen. I don't want to make that, you know? And I was like, we should make another 3D game, this time with guns in it. I said, why don't we just make a 3D version of Castle Wolfenstein? And they're like, oh my god, that's exactly the right idea.
All of us had very fond memories of Castle Wolfenstein on the Apple II.
Castle Wolfenstein was super unique. There weren't any other games even on the Apple II that were set in a Nazi dungeon. It was the first stealth game. You're trying to see if you can hold up guards without them making noise, shoot them, search them, put on their bulletproof vests.
You could drag bodies around corners and guards could sight on corpses and go into alert states. But it was so obviously more fun to whip around a corner and just unload the machine gun.
While we're making a game, we're playing the game hundreds of times a day. Like, it is nonstop. You're like running it to see how it feels and did this thing that I just made look good in the game. So like, we're used to the basic core loop, just shooting people and making them lay down and opening doors and just like running through the thing.
Designing something truly elegant is one of the hardest things to do. Once you pare things down to only what needs to be there, it becomes something much purer and more enjoyable.
John had programmed the engine so well that on a CRT monitor with a VGA card, it went 70 frames a second. It was super fast. And then we put mouse movement in there, and holding the second mouse button, you could strafe unbelievably fast, faster than in any game. Still, it was insane.
And the idea that you were running around shooting Nazis, that there were guard dogs, you know, eating in bowls of food and like all of this stuff that nobody had really ever seen before in a game.
Actually being able to record sounds was exciting. The German death screams or alert screams of the people coming at you.
What really stood out was, instead of just showing just a conventional energy meter at the bottom to show your health, you'd actually see the character's face starting to bleed and cause damage.
It absolutely blew my mind. Seeing fully textured environments and to see down the barrel of the gun, the intensity of the experience of fighting the Nazis and of course their dogs, and then later on Mecha Hitler, just completely changed me, and I think it completely changed an entire generation.
Wolfenstein 3D presented a first-person perspective with a very fast action.
I'd never seen a PC game like this that was in 3D, where you moved with the walls and guys came at you and shouted in German, and it 100% changed my life.
Before Wolfenstein 3D, I would have branded myself as only interested in like role-playing games. I became a big fan of shooters after Wolf 3D.
We had literally the big bags full of fan mail.
Because we really felt like we had a major hit on our hand. 3 episodes we sold for like $35. 6 episodes, it would be a $50 package. 95% of our sales was for the full 6 episodes.
To pay for the games, people had to write checks and they had to mail them.
Commander Keen sold really well. We got our first check and it's $10,000, we can live on that. It's sort of like, we'll buy a bar together. And Wolfenstein sold 10 times more than that.
What? $250,000 the first month on a shareware game. Right after that, got a call from a Japanese company called Imagineer. They wanted a Wolfenstein on Super Nintendo, and they gave us $100,000 as an advance. Yeah! Okay, let's do that port too. Like, this is insane.
Oh god. Nintendo was not happy because this is at a time when they were even censoring Mortal Kombat. Now, we already knew we would have to get rid of some of the Nazi paraphernalia due to the fact that they wanted to sell the game in Germany. But the most notable thing was that we had German Shepherds in the original version of Wolfenstein 3D come ahead and bite you. The Nintendo censors were totally, you can't shoot dogs. So we had to change them to rats. Then, when we were about ready to finish this game and ship it out to Nintendo, Nintendo came in and says, oh, when the rat bites you, they're bleeding. And we're like, what do you mean bleeding? Look in their mouths, there's red. It says, that's their tongue. Change it. So we had to remove the tongues from the rats because it reminded Nintendo of blood. The censors just made our lives miserable. So we had to do several revisions before finally Nintendo said, okay, you could ship this.
Okie dokie.
Come get some.